Welcome everybody to Sasha and Goff live recorded. I'm Sasha.
I'm Goff.
And this is the first take that we are doing today on this episode 23, pre-Thanksgiving, our first pre-Thanksgiving episode. How you doing today, Goff?
I'm doing well. Yeah, this is our well, I guess we had Halloween, but this is our first family holiday together.
What other family holidays are there?
Well, Christmas.
What else?
Pulaski Day.
What's a non-family holiday? Do you celebrate Columbus Day by yourself?
Yeah. Columbo Day.
Well, thank you guys for checking us out. We are feeling the atmosphere here. It's feeling good today.
I don't know. Like
it's not the fifth take that we're doing here.
Very jittery. I don't know. This is like my second 8-ounce cup of I don't know.
That's a Yeti cup?
Yeah.
That's fancy, right?
I guess so. I don't know. I think the Stanley cups are the fad now. That might even be gone though.
But that's like the women's one, right? This is the men's one.
Sure.
Yeti is like I'm a hunter.
Yeah, or like Columbia.
You a big hunting guy?
Big hunting guy. I got a lot of carcasses on my.
You hunt your own turkey for Thanksgiving?
We do. That's kind of what you have to do around here, I guess. Actually, not around here. We drive up to the Wisconsin area and just shoot them.
You're making all that up, right?
I am.
Okay, thank God. What if I didn't know that about you and that was you?
Yeah, like if what I was wearing was like a turkey pelt.
Yeah, there's blood all over the carpets.
All over the carpets.
Well, thank you guys for checking us out while we try and stumble through an intro for this
we'll
week.
get there. We'll get there.
Hopefully. This might be it.
I don't know what's going on.
I mean, this might just be how it is for the rest of the time. I do want to say 2 weeks ago we did a episode about top vocalists.
Yes.
Right? Last week we did top SNL women. I didn't check the YouTube comments last week.
Okay.
And so I do have a list. My cousin Goran actually sent in a list of his top vocalists.
Nice.
And I thought there's some interesting names here, so I wanted to slide it by you here.
Let's do it.
Now, his number one, Freddie Mercury.
Okay.
Right?
Good call,
I'm just going to
Yep.
go ahead and say that because that's not the interesting name because that was your number one here.
Yeah.
Number 3 of his, see, I'm going from 1 to 3.
Yeah.
Klaus from Scorpions.
All right.
Solid, right? I didn't think about it. I'm not like...
Yeah.
Like, I like Scorpions.
Yeah.
I like Michael Schenker as a guitarist. You know, I'm a guitarist too. I listened to MSG, Michael Schenker group, when I was a kid. But anyway, like, it's a good call. It's a very good call. I just don't listen to them, I guess, enough to, like, be reminded that he's got an interesting voice. It's a crazy, weird voice.
Yeah.
So anyway, I thought that was an interesting one. And then one that we didn't even mention in a potent notable and nothing, Steve Perry.
Oh, yeah.
Steve Perry.
Can't stop believing, baby.
So I thought that was interesting. And then he
Don't stop believing, fuck.
He also threw in his top 3 punk, which is Greg Graffin, Bad Religion, Joey Cape, Lagwagon, and Tony Sly, No Use for a Name.
Excellent. I think whenever there's a musical one, we should have a side one. It's like, and then our punk one.
And then
yeah,
exactly.
How, the real one, how it should be, and then our punk one.
It's not a bad idea, actually.
Everything will be a punk one, even if it's top romantic comedies, and then our punk ones.
And our punk romantic comedies.
Thanks, Goran. That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Goran, for sending those in. If you want us to potentially read your top 3 list, just comment on our YouTube page, and we'll get to it eventually. We will.
Or
we won't.
I'm on Instagram every day on our account. I don't know if you've noticed that now. I'm starting to get too comfortable with it where I'm commenting now, and it's like other people are commenting on my comments on other things, and it's just like, yeah, I kind of just run this one now. So you can comment there too.
Megan always yells at me. She's like, "Why are you doing this on the Instagram?" And I'm like, "That's Goff." And she's like, "He's not allowed in this home anymore." And that's a weekly thing that happens here. So
yeah.
But yeah, so anything that you want to leave either on our Instagram or on our YouTube page, we'll probably read it because we need content. And if you want to send us your own top 3 requests for like top 3 lists going forward, you want us to talk about something specific, just send us an email, sasaandgoff@gmail.com, or if you know us personally, just text us. Something happened this past week that everybody's already talked about it, and so we don't need to talk about it a long time.
Okay.
But the Tyson Paul...
I had that in my what we're putting ourselves, but yeah, let's go ahead.
Okay, Mike Tyson versus Paul McCartney. What did you think?
Well, I mean, so you watched it, obviously?
No, I did not watch it. I did not get the opportunity because Netflix just messed up my thing. I did see like pre. I don't know. It was like 7:00 when I was watching.
Okay.
So, like the show hadn't even started live, and they were just talking to people. Rosie Perez was on my screen, which, by the way, is like. We have a rule in our house. I'm not allowed to be alone in a room.
Oh, no.
If Rosie Perez is on TV.
What if she's on TV, though, with 2 other men the whole time?
Someone
Doesn't
else
matter?
has to be there with me. I can't be alone. It's actually weird because it's the same with Rosie O'Donnell. You get that? No, I'm kidding.
No.
I'm absolutely kidding.
Wow.
But yeah, so Rosie Perez and Roy Jones Jr. And Mauro Ranallo, who is like a former wrestling talkie guy.
Okay.
Talkie
Commentator.
guy? Yeah, exactly. I think talkie guy is the official term.
He was pretty good.
He's good.
He had good energy. Did you hear though? He had a really big fuck up when he said that Rosie O'Donnell, Rosie Perez. Wow! Look at me calling the kettle black. Rosie Perez when he's like, yeah, well, you're a Walk of Fame star or whatever, and she doesn't have one.
Yeah, So. There was a lot of craziness. It's like we were running the audio and
why didn't they just get real commentators? I don't understand that. Like was
all
anyone
the money.
excited to hear Rosie Perez talk?
I mean, I was.
I'm sorry, not me. And Roy Jones just didn't seem like he gave a shit at all. It was just like, what am I here?
It was very interesting. My feed did not work the entire night, and then like I went to go to sleep without seeing anything.
Okay.
And when I came upstairs, I was like, let me try on this TV, different Netflix, different Roku, whatever. And it was working. They were like coming down the aisle, right? They were getting married. And they're walking down the thing, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. Let me just hop on Instagram and see what's going on. And it was already like 6 rounds deep. People were angry. And I was like, I'm not going to spend time watching this. And like, people are already saying what I thought this was going to be, which is like, Mike Tyson's too old.
So I did watch it. I was having the same problems as everyone else with Netflix around
25%.
Yeah. Yep. That was the best comment. Like the first thing I saw like the next morning with all the people complaining, just that comment. And it was like, yep, that guy understands. But I was talking to Mike from Melmac throughout the night. And it's just like, what round are you on? He's like, I'm on 10. And it's like, I'm only on 6. So we eventually just like, it was like, I'll talk to you in the morning. You know, because like he didn't want to ruin it for me, because every time you would have to exit out, it wouldn't bring you back to the live one. It's like on Netflix when you stop watching a movie and
where you were.
Exactly. Yeah. So it kept doing that. And the 2 matches before that were fantastic. Those were great matches. But the Tyson one, I actually, the next morning, I woke up at like 6 and I watched it then and it was fine. And it sucked. I mean, like the stream was fine.
Oh, okay.
The match was a joke. Yeah.
Yeah.
It just kind of duped all of us. Or like maybe gave us a little bit of hope because you saw those videos of Tyson training. You did not get any of that or anything close to that.
It's like we wanted Tyson to win because then we feel the world is like healing.
Well, I also feel that it's like our old asses versus like the young generation, you know, and it's like, fuck you. But
and if Tyson would have won, it would have been a win for anybody who like, lived in the 90s and you know can remember the 90s and stuff like that. And that didn't happen, and so now we're all just like sadder than normal.
It's just the world still sucks.
It's like, there's no justice at all.
No.
Besides that, we talked a little bit about it's Thanksgiving.
Yep.
And so, I don't know, I guess, what do you do for Thanksgiving? Like, what does your Thanksgiving look like?
We do, kind of, like most of our holidays, because my parents and then my in-laws live close to us, so we're able to kind of do both of them in the same day, which we pretty much do for everything. Yeah, we usually go by my parents in the morning, like, you know, brunch time, I guess, and then over to her parents. And and it just, like, I hate to say it. I mean, like, we have plans. We're doing these things. But I do love that as you get older, you can kind of start telling your parents and your family, we're not going to come this time. And you don't have to feel, you know, like when you're still under your parents' roof and it's like, we're going to grandma's for Christmas, you kind of have to go. But yeah, now like, and I love seeing my parents and everything, but this is just such a stressful time. This whole, like, starting now, basically, or, like, right when Halloween ends, all the way until, like, December 26th. It's like,
Exactly.
And, I mean, like, a lot of people still get together with their families after Christmas, so, I mean, like, that's not even the end of it. But I love giving gifts, I love getting gifts, but, yeah, this is stressful as hell, like, already.
And you guys both have large families, so I think that's why you can get away with that, too.
Yeah.
Because my family is 6 people. If one person doesn't show up, the other people are like knocking on the door. Is everything okay?
That person better be on Skype.
Yeah, my mother-in-law does the hosting because Serbian people don't have Thanksgiving. Like my mother-in-law invites my parents to Thanksgiving, and they're like, "Sure, when is Thanksgiving?"
Yes.
Like, we don't understand.
When is it this year?
We have no clue what it is, and so like we normally have anywhere from like this year it's very light. It's just the immediate. It's like me, Megan, her brother, her mom, me again.
You twice.
And then my parents.
Nice.
And that's it. I think that's it. Maybe potentially 8 people are coming. But normally it'll be like 10 to 12.
Okay.
You know, like uncles, aunts will come in, whatever, cousins. So it could get a little bit bigger or whatever. Yeah. But regardless of the size, my mother-in-law makes the same amount of food, which is way too much for 12 people.
Yep.
And now it's going to be for 6 people, and it's going to be incredibly too much food. And that's what I don't like about this time of year is, like, I'm out of control.
Oh, we're all, like, gluttons. Just, like...
And I'm Serbian, right? So, like, I went to a Slava this week.
Okay.
Do you know what a Slava is?
I've heard you guys talk about. Is that like a rite of passage? Is that kind of like a bar mitzvah?
No. It's like a saint's day. Like every family has a saint that they celebrate or whatever, and you celebrate the same day every year. And so I went to one last Saturday actually, which was cool because it's a Saturday. Most of the time they're not on Saturday, so it'll be like Tuesday night, and you have to drive to like wherever, which is fine. Like it's always nice. But it adds to the stress of the holiday season because it's like Slava season too. So like it's not just Thanksgiving and Christmas stuff, but my Slava is actually December 19th. So it's like in between both of those things.
Is this a yearly thing?
Yeah, every year. And my mom makes food for however many people come, 15, 20. It used to be like bigger, and then it's like
why is
smaller.
This your date?
Like my family celebrates Saint Nicholas, not Santa Claus, but a different saint.
Yeah,
and so that's our saint, and so he has the Saint's Day, which is the 19th of December. So that's like the day that we every year. I go to church, like I don't work that day. Since I was a kid, it's like a thing. But it adds to the, and so you go and like the people prepare this like giant meal for you, and you know a lot of people are there, and so like. Last Saturday we're like, all right, here you go, and it's like a little nerve-wracking for us, me in particular, because like I speak Serbian but I don't fluently joke and zing and zang Serbian, so I can have conversations with people. But if you're not sitting next to somebody who like and it's just a random Serbian person, then you kind of feel bad because you're not talking, and then it's a little bit weird.
But do they all know that you're not
okay. The thing is, like, when you get there, it's a blast and everybody has a good time and everybody is kind, and the people who don't speak English are like, let me tell you about, like everybody's trying, and it's like it's always a good time. It's not a bad thing at all, but there's always that little bit of being nervous ahead of time before you go. And Megan is always like, she feels bad because she doesn't speak any Serbian, right? So people ask her questions and whatever.
They probably do it on purpose.
It's just like, there's a little bit of nerves in there. It always ends up being a good time, like I said. Even like my own Slava, like we're hosting people. It shouldn't be a nervous thing, but you're kind of nervous because you want to make sure things are going correctly or whatever. And so Thanksgiving is probably the same, Christmas and all that stuff. But yeah, Thanksgiving, going back to Thanksgiving, like we're laying a little bit lower this year than usual. What about food? Like, what's your favorite? We didn't prepare a top 3 anything, so I don't need a top 3 anything. But I just wanted to know, like, what do you like in Thanksgiving?
Are you saying for this episode or just for Thanksgiving food?
No. Like, we didn't. Like, we could have planned this better and done a top 3.
I'm like, because I have a top 3 for the episode.
Yeah. Okay. No, like top 3 turkey meats.
I do like dark meat, just like I love my women.
I
had to throw that in there.
Sorry.
She's Greek. Kind of counts, right?
All right.
Olive skin.
You know, Eastern European people, some of them don't think they're white people. They think Eastern Europe is like a different...
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway.
So, yeah, dark turkey. Yeah, mashed potatoes, corn. I mean, like you said, my mother-in-law... And we honestly, we don't have... For having such a big family, like her family and mine, since they're separate... It's really not that big, and since my daughters don't really count as adults, you know,
Yeah,
so
that's
it just seems a little bit smaller. But anyway, yeah, the amount of food is insane, you know, leftovers for like a week. But
and your sisters don't live here.
Yeah, so that's the thing too. Even with my family, it's just my brother, my parents. Mike from Melmac usually comes over, and then
Which he won that on an episode of this podcast, right? He won the opportunity to have Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I hope you're listening. Just Thanksgiving is the best, just notorious for being able to literally just make a plate of stuff and just kind of mash it all together and just, how about you?
Yeah. I like sides more than I like the meat part of it.
Yeah, I could But
yeah, anything. Like sweet potato stuff, green bean casserole, cucumbers, which is weird. It's just like, I enjoy
they're just
eating
better at
cucumbers.
that time of year.
Yeah, corn, all of it, like everything. And then obviously the desserts that come with it. So Thanksgiving, we know all that. What about Black Friday? I know you're a big go out, hit the streets.
I did that one time in my life. I went out on Black Friday. I went out at like 3:30 a.m. I got to Best Buy.
No. I'm not talking about Black Friday. I'm talking about Black Wednesday, the biggest night for going out and getting hammered.
Oh, I thought that. Oh. Jeez, I don't know. Just call it Black Monday, Tuesday, whatever. I mean, I'm still just gonna.
Isn't it called Black Wednesday? I thought it was. That was.
Yeah, that it is like it's one of the biggest party nights of the year. The Wednesday before.
So what are you doing?
Thanksgiving. Probably what I'm doing the 2 nights before. I don't know.
Playing video.
No,
games
you know what though? Yeah, we talked about that. I'm off for the next like week and a half. It's fantastic. So that's what I love about Thanksgiving too, is just getting time off of work and. Be setting up the Christmas tree. When do you guys do your tree?
It's funny you bring that up because
I threw it away on accident.
No, normally we do stuff day after Thanksgiving is when we like set up
That's usually
lights outside and whatever, and then the Christmas tree if we can do it that day. I was like thinking about doing that stuff earlier this year, but we're already at the point now where Thanksgiving is this week, so it's like, well, I guess it'll be the same as every time. We don't even put up a Christmas tree. We put up half a Christmas tree because we don't have a lot of room, so it like goes against the wall and it just it sticks out a little bit.
We have to move our TV, and then we have to put like a gate around the tree just because Lucy, you know, she'll just keep like fucking with the ornaments.
That's funny. Yeah. Callie hates the tree because we put it in front of a window, and that's the only window that she can look outside to see that other things exist, and so we shut that down.
So it's just a deterrent for her.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But she doesn't like bite things or whatever. Do you guys do other? Well, I don't want to talk about Christmas trees yet.
Okay,
we're on Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
so we'll sit with
the
Thanksgiving stuff. Maybe next week we'll talk.
We'll need
about
content in 2 weeks for Christmas.
Exactly. 2 weeks next week.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're not doing anything for Black Wednesday, which is pretty crazy of you.
How about you? What do you got going?
I was gonna bring this up.
Black
Wednesday, there's a concert going on about 20-25 minutes from my house in Carpentersville or West Dundee or one of those areas over there. Our dear friends in Counterpunch are playing with the Broke Downs and Bad Planning, who opened for Belvedere, the cool band from Barrington. I'm just throwing it out there. They're playing at a venue where nobody goes to these shows, so I don't think anybody's going to be there except me going like this.
Okay.
But that's going to be my Black Wednesday, I'm pretty
sure. All right,
sure.
Well, possibly. Yeah.
Also, it might be a Tuesday. I don't remember if it was Tuesday
Also,
or
it might have been last week.
Yeah, it might have happened already.
2023.
But either way, that's the only plans I really have for that. So
Put me on the spot, huh? Is this because I asked you which one of your parents you love more last week?
Yeah, well, I answered the question.
You did.
We just had some technical difficulties. I don't think anybody got to the end of our YouTube video to see what my answer was, but...
I got there. Don't worry.
Okay, all right. Well, good. Oh, that's all I got for Thanksgiving stuff. You got anything?
I do, actually. So, I came up with something, actually, and this is so funny because you were just talking about this like 10 minutes ago. I came up with a new game for the week. All right. Yeah. I really wanted to do this Family Feud style because, you know what? I
5-on-5.
Well, no. Like with a board.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I was really gonna make one with some poster board I have at home, but you were talking about how it's a weekly thing that Megan has beef with me, correct?
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
All right. So this new game, I don't know if this is this is a working title. It's called Why Am I Not Allowed in Your Home This Week? All right.
Okay.
So yeah, it's
right.
perfect that you brought that up. So. And it's. I think the reason I thought of this is because I was watching Arrested Development when they showed the clip of how Michael is always like, "That's it, I'm out of this family." Like it's always just like an empty lot, you know, like a promise, whatever. So all right, I have written down 6 different reasons. So over the last 22 and a half weeks of podcasting,
Okay. All right.
if you can come up with, I don't know, like 4. Let's see if you can come up with 4.
Man.
And I know your memory is not the greatest, so we'll work with 3. Okay. Like I said, I wrote down 6 different reasons why Megan has at one point said, "You're not allowed in our home."
All right.
Okay?
Okay, one of them, because you may have either requested or talked about the movie Substance.
Very good. You got that one, okay? I wrote down recommended The Substance.
Okay. All right. That's the Demi Moore movie that is terrifying and
it's gross. It's a gross movie, yeah.
2, you brought up Gia. All right.
Very good. Oh man, you might get all of them.
Which, by the way, you're free to do that anytime.
Okay.
Don't tell her I said that.
Alrighty. So now next week you're not allowed in the house.
Yeah, we should get a Gia cardboard cutout for the back over
just
here.
to stand right behind you, massaging you.
Okay,
your
so
shoulders.
That's 2 of them. Why you're not allowed in my house. Now, let's see. It's nothing to do with shoes.
Okay, you did mention one of them before when you brought this whole thing up in the first place. Something I did more recently.
Tracking something in the house?
No.
Okay.
Oh, well, kind of, but that's not what I'm talking about.
Oh, yes. You had some sort of bug infestation?
Number 2, bringing mites into your home.
By the way, my dog has like bites on her ear.
Those are not from me. They might be.
Maybe the mites though, not you.
Yeah.
I hope
they're surviving in this wonderfully warm home. All right, so that's 3 of them.
If my dog loses its hearing because of you, Megan is gonna kick you out of this house.
That's gonna go on the list then.
Okay, so that's 3.
That's 3.
Honestly, that's better than I thought I would have done.
But there's still one that you mentioned like 10 minutes ago that...
Okay. That's how bad my memory is.
Yeah.
Okay, so something with Thanksgiving dinner.
Something with Instagram.
With Instagram. Oh, okay. Giving away spoilers in the hashtags of Instagram.
And now I understand that, and I was thinking about that when I did it, but I honestly just didn't think anyone read those.
Yeah, only
and
Megan
also,
reads
well, it's
them.
also I was trying to put a hashtag just to get the views out there to those, those things. But that was
Megan,
a good one.
I'm like, you don't have to read the hashtags, and she's like, well, if they're there, I'm gonna read them. I'm like, all right.
It's awesome, yeah. So all right, so that's 4 of them.
And she's like, Goff's out of here. So there's 2 more.
There are 2 more. Yeah, one of them was from last week's episode.
Every 3 episodes, she's
kicking me out of the house or banning me from the house.
She's great. I love it.
Yeah.
Something about bozo. No, you're gonna have to give me a hint.
So last week there was a movie that was brought up, and I was just like, it's a funny movie, but it's kind of stupid too. On Instagram, she fought back, and it was like, no, it is great. It's the greatest movie ever.
I will say this is the angriest she's ever been.
No, really? For that one?
Ever.
And I was kind of like, that was better than my recommendation for The Substance. Like, with It's Pat, I was at least like, I love it, but it's pretty stupid.
I don't listen to this show after we, like...
I have to for clips.
I know. I feel bad for you.
It's fun.
But...
it's fun.
See how high your voice went?
It's fun.
I've never heard you do that.
That's when I lie. My voice gets high.
I remember you talking about the movie, and even It's Pat is what we're talking about. Megan got mad because you called It's Pat a bad movie.
Yeah.
And she's like, there is no better movie than It's Pat.
Yeah, so...
And so that was the reason why she doesn't want you here. And that's why we're actually recording on a Saturday to throw her off. So she's not home.
She could be home at any minute though, and this could.
You're out the window.
I'm out the window.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got 5 of them then. Well, let's say like 4.5 because I gave you a big hint on that one. This next one, I don't think you're gonna get. I guess a hint would be it was another thing that had to do with the TV show we talked about. Probably during our favorite sitcom. I don't know.
Okay, give me the TV show.
Family Matters.
Oh, okay. So it was about who
we just botched everything.
Yeah.
That was both of us.
Both of us needed to be
This
escorted
is
out.
5.5 reasons why I'm not allowed in.
All right.
Solid. So that's what I got. Yeah, that's what I came up with. And that doesn't include. Yeah, there's probably many other ones. And now, Megan, you're probably listening. But not on every one of these was that you're not allowed. I think it was only on like 4 out of the 6. But the other ones were more just like, watch your stuff. Watch yourself.
You should hear what she says when you're like not around and the stuff that she doesn't write on Instagram.
That's the Patreon.
That's the real stuff. That's for the Patreon. I don't know if people are aware. We have a Patreon. You can find it wherever you find Patreons.
Yes.
The only thing that we're offering, it's $2,000 a month. And the only thing that we're offering is a bonus episode, and it's called Sasha and Goff Wives Recorded.
Oh.
Where it's Megan and Joni do a show, and they talk about all the stuff that we messed up.
Yeah, when they listen back to the podcast, it's like essentially them just correcting everything.
Yeah, and being disappointed in us in general. So.
She's like, yeah, he actually sucks at that.
So if you want to join the Patreon, it's $2,000, and that's what you get. One a month, I believe. There's one episode a month
cool.
bonus. So,
well worth
all right.
it.
Well, I guess that's it then. Excellent game, by the way.
Thank you.
Which means it's time for what are we putting inside ourselves. I'll start things off this week. I got 2 things here. One really quick, and then the other one a little bit longer, I guess. A band that I recently came across that is very, very good background music or driving music.
All right.
Do you ever get sick of podcasts or anything? Yeah, right.
So, I listen to the podcast like I listen to, and then beyond that, it's just music. Because I have.
Do you ever get sick of the music?
Not really, just because I can just keep. I mean, there's so much of it.
Sometimes I just
love music.
Want silence.
Okay.
Which Megan says I have issues because of that.
I talk to myself a lot, so during those times I will I know it's weird, but during podcasts and stuff, a lot of times I would do it during your old one. I would pause sometimes and throw my 2 cents in, and then it's just I'll do that with other podcasts too when they're talking about a movie. Plus, sometimes I'll pause it and it's like, fuck that, this is bullshit. This is a terrible review. This movie sucks. Which is what Megan did when I talked about The Substance.
It's good to know that there are crazier people out there than me. Then
oh, dude,
I'm just into the silence.
Our top 3 is bad habits today, so
and that one, by the way, is not going to be
no walk in the park,
fingernail biting. That's not mine.
Okay,
that might be
one
yours.
of mine.
That's
it's
fine.
One of them. It's a potent odor.
Mine are mental instabilities of mine.
Right.
Okay, so it goes a little bit deeper. By the way, our friend Useless Dave, he was talking to me about the episode where I was afraid of my house being on fire, and he's like, "You need to go see a therapist." and lately, what I've been doing is I'm just leaving everything on, and I'm just kind of
Is this just so you can prove everyone wrong?
Because if something sets on fire, I'm gonna be like, "See,
told ya."
So thanks, Dave.
All right, so let's get back to what.
But anyway, so I heard of this band or artist. I don't know what it is, but it's Bequem is the name of it. BEQUEM. The song that I heard originally that went immediately on a playlist of mine is Coffee Lounge. I actually heard this because it was the background music on an Instagram reel.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, what is this? I like this. And then I checked it out on Spotify and all that stuff. It's kind of like a just very chill, relaxed, almost like jazz. I don't even know. It's perfect background music. There's no lyrics.
Is it theme music? It's kind of just work to it.
But it's relaxing. It's super just low relaxing. But it does kind of have a drum machine beat. So I don't know. They also have a Christmas song that came out. I'm like, it's the perfect you're at Christmas and just need something in the background. You know, you normally play Christmas songs. This is kind of a new era of that. If you just want
new age
setting,
elevator music,
a setting, a nice little relaxing background thing that you don't have to think about. Worth checking out, I think.
Bequem.
Bequem. If that's something that you're looking for, that type of music. Which
okay.
I
Nothing about that sounds exciting.
But
I'll keep it in mind.
Didn't have to be. And then the other thing that I'm going to talk about here is a stand-up special that came out by one of my favorite comedians, Brooks Wheelan. Brooks Wheelan used to be on SNL. He was on SNL for one season, like 10, 11 years ago.
I think you talked about him.
Yeah.
You have talked. Yeah.
He opens for Seth Meyers. He opens for John Oliver.
Right.
He opens for Tim Robinson and the I Think You Should Leave guys.
Okay.
They did like a live thing, a live tour. They played the Chicago Theater. Brooks Wheelan's like part of that opening group or whatever. He put out this... so he did stand-up, right? He started doing stand-up when he was younger. He got on SNL. He was only there for a year. When he was on SNL, he was like my favorite character for the year that he was there. After like a long time, I realized, I think it's because he reminds me of like someone who would have hung out with my group of friends when I was young.
All right.
Right? He's got the same interests. The first thing I ever saw him do, he was on Weekend Update on SNL, and he talked about how he has a shitty band tattoo. And I'm like, hey, I got shitty band tattoos. Also, he looked hungover. His eyes, were like black underneath.
Was he a writer or anything for the show, or did he just...
He got hired to be a writer, and then they were like, you should be on TV as well. And then he was like, I don't know anything about that. And then Seth Meyers is the one who got him on the show, I believe. Like, he found him and was like, I want you to be on SNL. And then Seth Meyers left after a year to go do the Seth Meyers show. So, like, the guy that vouched for him kind of left.
Yeah.
And so he
like
was
now you're
there.
on your own.
Yeah. And then, so he was there for a year and they let him go. And then he went back to doing stand-up and writing scripts and all that kind of stuff. He has a podcast called Entry Level that just talks to comedians about the jobs they had before they were famous.
That's cool.
She doesn't even do that anymore because, like, he does other stuff. He does stand-up and whatever. So me and Megan have gone to see him a couple of times, and it's always funny. It's always like stuff you can relate to that's random, like especially Midwest. He's from Iowa originally, so he talks about like having a garage that has a separate fridge in it. Like that's not a thing that happens everywhere.
Yeah,
it's
true.
Kind of a Midwest thing, and so he goes into that. I don't want to like ruin the stuff that he talks about, but it's like a lot of stuff that is very relatable. And also like drinking, the difference between drinking and getting high and that kind of stuff. And so he won Megan over. Megan didn't know. I was like, let's go see him. I'm a fan of this guy. Now she is a big fan. And so after many years, we saw him a couple times and like he kept doing not the same show, but a lot of the same stuff. So he's like refining his stuff or whatever. And it got to the point now where like it needed to be recorded, and so that's what this special is. It's just
what's it on? Is it Netflix? Or
it's on YouTube, and it's called Brooks Wheelan Alive in Alaska. And so basically, he went to Alaska for 2 weeks and just toured in Alaska, filmed all of the stuff that was going on, and then filmed the special in there, which is weird. Like nobody films in Alaska.
Yeah,
he is also like a nature guy,
point there.
A camping guy, an outdoors guy. So it's like definitely his kind of background or whatever. It's not just like a comedy club and a guy like, talking about his dick or whatever. Yeah, it's different
dick
stuff.
And fart jokes.
So yeah, anyway, like I watched it again and there was a lot of stuff that was on there that I had already seen, but it was still great. It's still hilarious. So I think people should definitely check it out. Brooks Wheelan Alive in Alaska. It gets the Sasha Comedy Special of the Year approval.
Ooh, that's a big
stamp.
All right.
Never been given out before.
Yeah.
And so that's it. That's all I got inside me this week.
Okay. So I got one new album and then I got a TV show as well. New album. You a Linkin Park fan at all?
No, never was.
Okay.
And now I know they're back with a female singer who's got some issues in her past or something.
I didn't know anything about that.
I mean, like,
I'm just going to talk about the new album.
Well, she's like friends with Danny Masterson.
Oh.
She was like one of those people. What are those things called? The
creeps?
Scientologists?
Oh. Well, that falls in that too.
Yeah. So so there was some stuff around her being asked to be the singer. I think the guy who died, his son was not a fan of her or something.
Okay.
I don't know. This is all like stuff I've heard, so I don't know what is true and what is not true, but she's got a great voice.
Yeah.
and I heard a song that was like a punk song, and I was like, "This is some good stuff."
So,
but I'm not gonna listen to Linkin Park if that's what you're making me do.
No. So I was a big fan of the first two albums. You know, like when the first one came out, that was just like the new metal era.
That surprises me, man.
I love that.
Not a fan at all of that stuff. Like,
I was really into that, like Papa Roach and Limp Bizkit, like at that time.
Right.
And I mean, like, yeah, I was still even like being as much into punk as I was still like I don't know. I love the new metal scene.
It surprises me because you say how close-minded you are, but this is like a totally different. Like I don't even consider it to be punk adjacent.
Oh no.
So it's kind of interesting.
So yeah, the first two albums, Hybrid Theory and then Meteora. I love those, and then there's 5 in between there, I believe, that I've never really. I've given I think Minutes to Midnight was like the third one. And then I just didn't really care anymore for whatever reason. It just fell off, and I would only listen to those 2 albums occasionally.
Okay.
And then, Chester, you know, he passed in 2017, I believe it was, which was when their last album came out. So there hasn't been anything, you know, so it's been 7 years in between. Yes, they have a female singer now. Her name's Emily Armstrong. And it's cool because it's like, first of all, I just think it's cool that they hired a female, you know, just change things up a little bit. But she's like a female version of him when she screams like that. She has like a Brody Armstrong kind of growl, but like I think her clean vocals are better. But when she actually does like the kind of Chester scream, she just sounds like a female version of him. So it's kind of cool. I like that. But then there's the difference with the singing voice, the clean vocals.
Yeah.
But yeah, the music itself, it's one of the heavier ones they've had in a while. And I mean, it's not like, you know, like Slayer or Pantera heavy. But yeah, there is like a punk song. It's called Casualty.
Okay.
And it's good to hear, but I'm going to be honest, like it's not even one of my favorite songs on there because it sounds like almost out of place. And it sounds like they're trying a little too hard. A lot of people in the comment section too are just like, this shouldn't be on, or this belongs on a different album.
Okay.
But there's a few of them that just have traces of old Linkin Park that I really love, and it's like, all right, cool. So
I only heard that one song, that punk song. My cousin Nick sent me a link to it.
Yeah,
I think specifically knowing that I would be
that's
like
the first one my brother sent me too.
And then I saw a commercial for it because they're playing Soldier Field, which is insane.
Oh, wow.
And the commercial has like 3 or 4 different songs where she is singing on.
Okay.
And I was like, wow, this sounds really good. It's a shame that I'm not going to give it a fair try.
It's a shame I don't give a shit.
It's a shame because it doesn't sound bad at all. And look, Danny Masterson, good guy as far as I know. I don't know. I don't know the facts.
No comment.
All right.
Don't
don't at Danny Masterson.
Don't add him. Yeah. Okay. The other thing, TV show called From. I think Megan actually watched it for a little bit. I'm not going to give any spoilers or anything here,
familiar.
But yeah, so it's in its 3rd season right now. This thing came out, 3 years ago, I guess. Season 1 was fantastic. It was just like really good. Like this is from the people who made the TV show Lost. So it's like, all right, they're going to fuck with us again. Like a lot of like mind screwing. And so we got a lot of that in season 1. And then like season 2 just kept going and not like really progressing, and now season 3 is doing the exact same thing, and this is just turning into the biggest waste of time. But it's like I've gotten this far, and it's like since there's like a big mystery behind it, it's like like they got me, but it sucks. Like it's gotten to the point where I'm literally saying this TV show I watch every week is terrible.
Okay, so like The Bear was kind of the last season, nothing really happened. Is that like this, like nothing's happening, or is it just bad what is happening?
What's happening in this show is that every episode it's just like it's almost like just getting further and further. There's just a new thing for this character to be paying attention to, or it's a character that, well, he did this 5 episodes ago, so let's just do that again. One of my biggest things, the first episode, because I'm not going to get into the whole plot of it, but there's like these creatures that are trying to kill him, and the one guy who's like the main character, he's like, you know what? We're going to catch one of these sons of bitches, like, so they can do tests on it and shit. That was 9 episodes ago, and they never went back to that. They haven't caught one. They never... So, it's just... I don't know. I mean, like, I would tell people, like, if you're looking for a horror TV show, check it out. Start from season 1, and I mean, like, you might like it, because that season was really good. But right now, it's just, like, the acting sucks. Like, every character is annoying as hell. And where Lost could kind of get away with. Did you watch Lost at all?
Never. No.
Okay, so Lost, I'm sure you've heard, a lot of like mind effing going on and whatnot. But at least it was like good actors and good looking people because it took place in Hawaii. So at least it's like everyone's shirtless and running around. This show is in like, I don't know, we don't even know where. It's in like some mysterious town, but it's like anywhere like Middletown, USA. So it's like winter time, so everyone's drab looking and everything. And like I said, the acting mostly sucks. And so yeah, that's
right.
I know we usually recommend things on this show, but I'm going to say start at from 1 and just don't expect a lot when you get to season 3. So all right, so let's get to our top 3 then.
All right, top 3 this week. We are doing our top 3 bad habits. You're gonna make an Offspring joke. I'm gonna roll my eyes.
I did that last week. I won't do it.
I thought you were going for it again.
No.
So top 3 bad habits is an interesting one. I thought I was gonna have a million of them, and then I realized like all of mine kind of roll into one.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh,
I'm a prick.
Yeah. No, that's not
a-hole.
Okay. I'm gonna start things off with my number 3, which might surprise some people as being my number 3.
Okay.
I'm gonna call it procrastination / laziness.
Okay.
Now this is a thing that I do where
it's like I want to know what the 2 before this are.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
If this is only 3.
So my procrastination, my laziness is like leaving things to the last minute. So stuff that I have not done, like Christmas shopping, for example. I will always leave Christmas shopping until the day before Christmas or whatever, or like the last day of Amazon shopping.
Yeah.
I don't do research into anything. I just like, all right, we'll figure it out when we're out there, and it usually works itself out or is average, and then I'm like, look, that's all that was left. That this is what it is.
Yeah. No.
I'm using Christmas gifts as the example, but it's literally like anything in my life that I leave is always. Yeah, it's always last minute. It's never... And then, okay, that'll be my number 3.
All right, so I'll start with my number 3. It's interrupting, which I was trying to do more cleverly. Actually, right when you started your number 3, I was like, shit, I was just going to jump in and interrupt you. Oh, you hear it on the show all the time. I think I'm being polite by saying real quick. Yes. And it's actually probably just incredibly annoying to you. Probably more annoying the fact that I mention it every time I say it. But... I don't know. And it's probably just because I have 3 siblings, just like maybe trying to talk over people all the time. But I just feel like I'm going to forget what I have to say. And most of the time it is so like pointless. Like who gives a shit? Like, I mean, like if you ask Joni the amount of times you could tell when she's, when you could tell someone's waiting to talk. Uh-huh. And it's like about...
Yeah, all right. I'm well aware.
Yeah. All right, so anyway, I was going to... This episode of Parks and Rec where Ron... And it's like, she's just like, that's what you were waiting for, huh? To tell me how this relates to Parks and Rec. Yeah, so again, and I apologize. Like, I don't do it on purpose if you ever catch that.
No,
I'm not trying to be inconsiderate. Like I said, right now, I'm just talking over you.
I catch it all the time.
Yeah.
But it doesn't bother me because I'm the opposite way where it takes me like 75 minutes to get a thought out. So like I'll start and I'll be like, So
when I interrupt, it just gives you more time to like keep processing your thought.
I'm okay with it. I'm like, yeah, this is fine. Whatever. I can now think how I'm actually going to say the thing that I was trying to say. Now I have no clue what you say while you're doing it.
Yeah.
I just hear real quick and I regroup. And then
perfect. So I'm doing it for you, buddy.
Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate it.
All right. So interrupting.
Okay. So my number 2 goes along with my number 3, except it's the exact opposite of it. Whereas maybe it's not the exact opposite, but let me.
It better not be I have too much energy.
No. Energy is definitely not any sort of habit in my life. Number 2 will be like not acting on something. This is where like if there is something happening, let's say gifts for Christmas, right? This has never happened and it doesn't really make sense, but I'll try and use it as an example. Gifts for Christmas. If I were to prepare how I was going to get gifts for people, I would be awesome at it. I would have lists. I would have backup plans. I would read. I would know what everybody wanted, and like everything. I read all the books. Is what I'm trying to say. Like research, information, everything, and then Christmas comes along, and I just didn't buy them. Right? Like I know what everybody wants. I know how great it would be, and then I just don't do it. Like inactivity is my number 2.
Okay.
Right? So it's like
one.
I can do everything. I can, as far as like reading up on something, I have no problem. I love comedy, right? I'll read every single comedy book. I know how to write jokes. I write jokes all the time. I don't go to open mics because I'm like,
a go-getter until I have to actually go get it.
It's like it's not go-getting because I'm not going to get
That's
it.
what I'm saying.
I'm
like in your mind you are, and it's like, here we go. Like, yeah, you're ready to drop in, but you just can't.
And then
like,
people will be like, hey, do you know what this is? And I'm like, oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I just have never like, and that's something I think that has happened with old age. It's gotten even worse. Like when I was younger, I would just be like, I know everything.
Yeah.
And like I would do stuff. And now I'm like afraid to do stuff or.
We're more cautious. I don't know if that's a bad habit.
It's a pretty bad habit. No, it's a bad habit. It affects. It keeps me from like trying things.
Okay.
Right, like that would make me potentially happy or like produce good things. So like I can do everything except when it comes time to actually do it, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna read 3 more books. I'm gonna learn more about this, and then I just never get to the thing. So
okay.
Yeah. So that one's a little bit more. Less nail biting and more like mentally deficient.
All right, so yeah, this maybe I should pull.
Where were you on that one to interrupt me while I was going on?
I was trying to just be nice.
Unbelievable.
But you know what? I guess this my next one is impatience, which is very similar to interrupting. Yeah. I know that, but this would be like when I'm driving, like. I wouldn't say I'm like a road rage-esque person, but it's like I am. Well, maybe I am. Yeah. I don't yell at other drivers. I keep it to myself, at least.
Everyone who says that is a road rage person. Like road rage doesn't have to mean that you fight other people. It just means that you get super
pissed
angry
off.
at the littlest
so that's
things.
me. Yeah. Speed limit, things like that. If people are driving the speed limit, that's the worst thing in the world you could do. It's like you got to be at least 5 over. Come on.
Megan is going to invite you into the home because she also has extreme road rage.
So I'm getting back. We can take one of the. All right, but it's also just with like if I'm driving to work, the slightest things. It's like. That car is turning, or that I have to wait for that car to like if I'm supposed to be going straight, if there's a car that's sitting there in front stopped, if I have the opportunity to take a right turn, I'll just do that instead, even if it's gonna make the trip longer. I'm fine with that. It's just having to stop. So it's like if I'm in motion, all right. But yeah,
I'm the opposite where I'm too nice on the road and I just like let people do whatever they want. Like. I'll stop at the stop sign, then the next person will stop, and I'm like, go ahead. I'm too slow. You should probably go on.
I got nowhere to be, lady.
Yeah. Exactly.
I was trying to teach my daughter about that the other day, Natalie. I was trying to teach her about how right-of-way works. Because, like, 4 of us, all came up at the same time. And I'm like, so were you paying attention? And she's like, no. It's like, what are you talking about? But, just impatience. I've always been like that. And again, I don't know if that has to do with growing up with a lot of siblings and like I make it sound like it's like the Lord of the Flies, like we were trying to fight over things, but like when the good snacks and stuff were there, it was always just like just go for it, just get it. So
what animal would you compare yourself to if you had to, like, growing up? Like I would be sloth, right? There's no rush. I will eventually get there. The snack will be there.
That's a great question because I was more like I was always clean.
Okay.
And like,
yeah,
I guess more sneaky. I don't know. That's a great question, though. I love that.
Think about it and respond in 6 weeks.
I will.
Remember.
Sounds good. When we do our top 3, what animal would we be growing up?
That's actually pretty good. Put that in the bucket.
All right.
My number 1 bad habit is a problem. This is a serious problem for me. This is eating after 8 p.m. I don't know.
That's normal for me.
Okay, well, it's not good for me.
All right.
It is like, because I'm not talking about like I'll have a snack and a granola bar and maybe something I shouldn't have and whatever. I'm talking, give me a box of granola bars.
Yeah.
Give me And I eat healthy stuff, right? Rice cakes. Give me all the rice cakes.
This is after, or are you saying like more like snacking after 8 p.m.? Like
I mean everything.
Okay.
Everything. Pita bread, cottage cheese, regular yogurt with fruit in it. This all sounds like okay, except all of it, right? Consistent. Like I work out.
It's not what I'm eating, it's how much I'm eating.
I work out regularly, right? You can tell I'm jacked.
Absolutely.
To the gills.
To the gill.
I look like a fish.
Homogenized milk.
Hey, homo cop it is.
See?
During the day, I could eat perfectly, flawlessly. I often do. But after 8 p.m., forget about it. Megan's asleep. The mice will play. Or whatever.
The cat's away.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's a problem. And, I mean, bowl of cereal. It's not like we have any, like, Fruit Loops, right? But I'll have, like, a thing of shredded wheat that is this big. It's, like, over the bowl. I mean, everything.
That's my daughter, Sadie, this morning was filling her bowl and literally put her hand on top of the cereal to pour the milk in because it was literally, heaping over the top.
Megan will pour cereal, and it's this much cereal and even less milk.
Jeez.
And I'm like, I don't know what you're doing. And then I'm going like this.
Will you ever go back for refills if the milk is still...
I mean,
okay.
If I
mean, I guess it's like, yes, everyone will do that if necessary. But sometimes, you just like, you just finish it off in one.
Yeah, but so it's really a problem. Honestly, I'm thinking about getting a ventriloquist. What's those things called? Those people who are like, they snap and then you're okay.
A hypnotist?
A hypnotist, yeah.
Ventriloquist is better.
Yeah.
What a ventriloquist hypnotist?
I mean, whatever works. Yeah. I'm open to
I got
any
a
sort
guy.
of therapy.
I'll give you some information after the show.
Watch where he sticks his hands, I guess.
Yeah.
Ventriloquist, right?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Okay. So that's me. Eating after 8 is my worst habit. Like, I know it doesn't sound horrible to you apparently, but it really is a problem.
No, I have a quote notable.
I'm currently asking for help. Anybody out there? So if you got a hack.
Well, maybe my cousin Tim's listening, and he'll remember his last advice about jury duty. I just didn't respond.
Yes.
Tim's will be don't eat after 8 p.m. He's not listening. All right, so my number one is sarcasm, and I think
that's a good habit.
Yeah, well, not when you're trying to teach your daughters not to be like.
Okay.
And I just can't help it. Because I think it's because I'm always trying to make jokes. So a lot of times I feel sarcasm is a funny way of doing it, even though it's irritating as hell.
Okay.
And yeah, I just with my daughters, like I'm trying to. They're not like, I don't think they're catching up on the act of sarcasm, but it's just like you sound like a prick, most of the time when you're doing that.
Yeah.
And it's a bad habit, and I find myself often, which I'm going to jump right into my potent notables, actually, because this is another one, apologizing too much for unnecessary,
Yeah.
It's like I'm always putting myself like, oh, sorry, like it's different when you're walking the hallway and you kind of like run into someone, but I start off you probably know it too, like text messages with it, sorry, but, and it's like, you don't need to apologize, but...
No, you often do need to apologize.
Yes.
You're pretty reckless.
Like terrible, pretty reckless. So yeah, I want to work on that. And a lot of times, so like I was saying with the apologies, then it's me backtracking like, I'm screwing around with you. But it's like, but you already said it. It's one of those.
I'm with you on that too. I do the thing where you just apologize to like make everything okay.
Yeah, like it's immediately just like
you're like I'll take the brunt of whatever the repercussion is.
Yeah.
That's one of my thing is like, even if somebody else is at fault, I'll be like, don't worry, I'll accept it and I'll deal with it.
Well, Joni always calls me a peacemaker. Like, so it's like me having a bad habit as apologizing too much. Obviously, it's not a bad thing, but for me, it's like a lot of times it's like you're admitting guilt basically when you say sorry, and it's like, but there's nothing happened here.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I don't know, maybe my manners, like when I said thank you to a trick or treater a couple weeks ago.
This is one of mine is letting people take advantage of my kindness, because like I am pretty kind as a person. Doesn't seem like it on the show, but if you know me in person, I think people would be like, yeah, he goes out of his way to try and be kind. But I do it to the point of where like people then start, not all people, but some people start taking advantage because they know that I'm just going to be okay with whatever. And then I'm just like, yeah, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't speak up for it. I just like accept it.
Oh. No, see, I definitely generous.
Like,
yeah.
no, you're an ass.
Well, no, I mean,
You
I'm
are
just
an ass.
like, to be 100% honest. Like the golf outings we do. I mean, like, you make T-shirts for people. You know, you're not you're just it's a pay for yourself to golf. But I mean, like, you're not asking us for money for these gifts you give us, the trophies and everything, and it's awesome. I mean,
purchase
you're a
friends.
Thoughtful person.
I purchase friends. Yes. That's also on my list. And here's a potent notable to cut you off from your potent notables. If this isn't on yours, I don't understand the world. For the phone, your phone.
Oh, that's not
everyone
here,
in the
but
world's number one bad habit.
Absolutely, yeah. You know, it's phones catch a bad rap, my friend. No, but when you think about it, sometimes there are those situations and people are like, why isn't anyone talking? And it's like, because I don't fucking want to talk to that person. That's why. You know, it's like, I get it. I totally do. But yeah, there's certain situations where it's like, yeah, eat shit, man. It's just like, then you talk. You can talk to me.
Eat shit, man. Sorry.
You can be getting sorry, man. But listen, no, I would say that, and then I'd be like, I'm just joking, man. But seriously, all right. Biting my nails is one of them.
That's
I
hilarious.
have no fingernails. It's like literally like I'm going to pick things up and it's like I have to like squeeze. Like, but I'm always biting my fingernails.
I used to be a nail biter, and then I was just one day I was like, this is weird, and I just stopped it.
No, I clip my nails, but like my fingers or my toenails. I mean, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Another one. I'm very easily annoyed or agitated. Like I didn't talk about this in like our top 3 annoyances we did way back, which I probably should have. Just in general, and another bad habit on top of that is I sigh a lot. You know, like because Joni, like there's times where I'll be in the bathroom or something and she's like, "What?" And it's like, I'm playing Angry Birds, you know, or something like that.
That's funny. Who's coming to my house?
Oh no,
we've never had a guest ring the bell, and somebody just rang the bell.
It is weird. It's probably Megan. She forgot her keys. She's gonna kick the door out. She sees my car outside.
Well,
this is terrible.
It is what it is.
Yeah, very easily annoyed. And then
see, I've never like seen you get annoyed, and I've never heard you sigh. So it's weird for me.
It's because you're a pleasant person. That's why I enjoy your company. And then the last one, which is kind of
lying.
In regards to yours. Yes, I'm a compulsive liar. I eat like shit. Okay. So yeah, you do it after 8 p.m. I do it all day.
Yeah.
And again, I always use the excuse I get a lot of exercise at work. I get a lot of steps, and that does help. Yeah. But yes, it's when I wake up at night, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., it's like I'll grab like a fudge brownie, you know, like the Little Debbie ones for my kids' snack. So I'm always snacking, and that's the problem too. I think though it's like I don't overeat. So that probably does it. I eat like in the morning, at lunch, and then it's like I don't really snack in between lunch and dinner.
I definitely overeat. Mostly after 8 o'clock or whatever. Like I said, during the day I have zero issues with anything. I can do fasting. I can do like anything perfectly fine. But 8 o'clock,
I think I do have to eat at lunch though, but I can go a long stretch in between then and
All right. So that was our top 3 bad habits. If you have any bad habits you want to let us know about, just respond in the YouTube comments or on the Instagram when we post the pictures of this episode. And we will share those if we feel like it.
If we feel like it.
And now it is time to test the new ramp that I built, okay? All right, we are picking our topic for next week's top 3. Let's see if this works. Here it comes. Be prepared, Goff. Oh, yeah.
All right, look at that. We're working tandem. All right. What is this?
Oh, awesome. Cheese Danish.
You know
Speaking
what?
of eating poorly.
When you texted me earlier in the week and you're like, I'll supply the Danish, I was like kind of walking in. I was like, where's the fucking Danish, man?
Dude, I went to 2 7-Elevens. The first one was sold out, and I was like, oh my God, this is a real thing. For those who don't know, Goff has a fascination with Danish as he gets one. Okay, that's the word. Yeah. Every day you get a Danish.
Every workday, yeah.
Every workday. And sometimes they've been out at your local 7-Eleven. So then you have a horrible day. Probably take it out on Joni when you get home. And so then I was talking about... Oh, not physically. Verbally,
assault. Yes, yeah. Obviously.
And so I told you I'm going to go get some Danishes, right? Well, so I was like, oh, there's a 7-Eleven actually down the street from my house. So I went there this morning, sold out. So then the next one I went to
Awesome.
was actually by the Goodwill in Bartlett.
Okay.
So I like went all the way over
That's
there.
not even close.
Yeah, and then this was the last one and the only Danish that they had. And I was
Thank you.
it's probably 3 days old. Enjoy. And I'll never get you another one because they're
I need to start
apparently
gifting you
difficult
things, man.
No, it's going to be all right.
Now you're just like, let's get this shit
Yeah,
going.
hurry up here.
Well, thank you. Anyone that can't see, yes, he got me my favorite cheese Danish from 7-Eleven. All right. You're like, yeah, and I got it last week, too.
I also think you dropped a thing here. A piece of paper from the bucket.
I did. Let's see what this is, if I feel like doing this one.
Veto power in full effect.
Oh! All right.
Okay.
This will require a little thinking, but this is our top 3 TV movie cartoon rivalries.
Okay.
That's a pretty fun one.
All right.
All right. Next time we see it, I'll see it. All
All
right.
right, excellent.
So yeah.
Well, that's it. Next
cool. I
week's
like that
episode, we will do top 3 rivalries. So I remember writing this one. This is the reason why it's TV, movie, and cartoon is because I didn't want to do one of each.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Cartoon rivalries, TV rivalries.
No, that's fine.
Let's
Yeah,
put
we'll
it all into one. It's a
broad
weird
strokes.
topic anyway. So
I like it.
that's it, and we will see you guys next week. Have a great Thanksgiving, and we will see you next week.
Gobble, gobble, gobble.